Did the nations have their own gods? Today, we're going to go through the Bible, both Old and New Testament, to see if nations had the one true God to serve, or if they had gods that they made themselves. Let's learn. In Joshua 24, God is speaking to Israel through Joshua. He speaks of how their fathers after the flood served or had other gods, specifically naming the father of Abraham and Nahor, Terah. In Genesis 31, Rachel steals her father's images or idols. Laban is from the nation of Syria, and he asks Jacob why he stole his gods. This means the nation of Syria already served and worshipped other gods that was not the God of Israel. God is speaking of bringing down one of his final plagues on Egypt, in which he says he will smite all the firstborn in the land of Egypt, both man and beast. He also says that he will execute judgment against all the gods of Egypt, showing Egypt had gods who they served and worshipped. In Deuteronomy 13, Moses is warning Israel to do away with people in their family who want to go after the gods of the nations close and afar off. Let's see what some of those nations are according to the Bible. Amorites, Canaanites, Hittites, Perizzites, Hivites, Jebusites, and many, many more nations. Even though God told us Israel not to join ourselves to the other nations to serve their gods, we did, and God was very wroth with us. Here are some of the nations' gods that we served: Syria, Sidon, Moab, Ammon, and the Philistines. Even Israel made their own gods. Jeroboam was made king of the northern kingdom, or the 10 tribes of Israel, when the nation split into 2 nations or kingdoms. During the split of the nation, he made 2 calves of gold and told Israel that those images were the gods that brought them out of Egypt instead of the God of their fathers. In the same way, Israel would sacrifice and hold feast days too, and for the Lord God. They did it for the images which they made with their hands. Even the house of Judah made gods of their own hands and did worship them. When Israel went after other gods and went into idolatry, they were cut off from their covenants and seen as Gentiles, or seen just like the other nations. Thus, the reason for Paul saying Israel his brethren were carried away to dumb idols. Now for the New Testament. Acts 14, Paul is in the city of Lystra, where he heals a crippled man. When the people of Lystra see the miracle that Paul did, they say that the gods have come down to them in human form, calling Barnabas Jupiter and Paul Mercurius or Mercury. Both Jupiter and Mercury are Roman gods which resemble the gods of the Greeks. In the city of Ephesus, and throughout almost all Asia, Paul was persuading and turned many people away from worshipping gods made by hands. Where is Ephesus, and who are the people that make gods by hand? According to Psalm 115 and Psalm 135, the Gentiles nations make their idols or gods by their own hands. However, Israel's God is in heaven, and he does whatever he pleases. As it says in Acts 19, the city of the Ephesians are worshippers of the goddess Diana, and of her image, which fell down from Jupiter. Paul spoke of these idols that the Gentiles worship and sacrifice to, calling them devils, and saying he does not want us to have fellowship with devils, man-made gods. As we can see, these other nations had their gods. Israel also followed after other gods. However, the other nations had no relationship and no part with the God of Israel. And though many may say they don't worship the gods of the Greeks and Romans, they worship the Roman Catholic gods, praying to Mary and Peter, Islam and their black rock that they kiss and pray to, Christianity and their white Jesus. All of these are gods of the nations and idols made with hands. Hope and pray this lesson was educational and edifying. The Lord bless thee and keep thee. The Lord make his face shine upon thee and be gracious unto thee. The Lord lift up his countenance upon thee and give thee peace. Shalom.